In this video, we're going to share with you a hiring process for virtual assistants and an overview of it. That is a system that you can use to hire once, because with it, you're going to hire right. And it's part of our employee hiring system made easy for virtual assistants, so you can work less and profit more. Now, whether you're a B2B or a B2C business, this is for you. And there are going to be action items at the end of this, because all of this education simply is entertainment if you don't do anything with it. So stay tuned until the end. And by the way, if you're thinking about outsourcing your business, I just wanted to say congratulations, because that is the path when you do it right to really getting all the things that you wanted when you started whatever business you're in. When I started real estate investing, I wanted more financial freedom, more time freedom to spend with my family and kids, and more financial flexibility to be able to spend money where I wanted to, and also build a team and give back to our community. So if you're thinking about hiring, I want to say congratulations to you, because that is a step that when you do it right is going to put you in a position to help achieve your business goals for the reason why you got into the business in the first place, whatever that is. I want to start off with a quote from Richard Branson, and it's been repackaged in a lot of ways. My take on it, I'll share with you. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. For me, I was the smartest person in the room until I started hiring, because I was a business owner, solo, so obviously there was no one else. And when I started hiring, even before I partnered, I found that I was able to really take steps towards working on my business to scale it, rather than just having a job for myself that wasn't scalable. Frankly, it was easier to work at my 9-to-5 because there weren't all of the other pieces to it as business owners that we have to be responsible for. That is why I do say congratulations for investing into your education in this video and this series, and learning how to hire right so you can hire once and grow your business. This is an overview of the course that we're going to dive into right now. So this video will be really quick, but it's important because if one of these topics resonates with you more, I want you to be able to understand which of these chapters you should skip ahead to. And my recommendation, of course, would still be to go through the whole thing. Now, I think it's always important to lead with what you'll be able to do once you're done with this course. In particular, we're going chapter by chapter here. I wanted to lay this out too so that you could skip ahead to whatever was most valuable or will be most valuable for you, whether it's in this video or whether it's in this series, so that you'll know what's coming. You'll be confident after chapter 1 in understanding where to find the best candidates. You'll also understand some really critical considerations that you need to know when hiring virtual assistants. And you'll also know the tools that you'll want to utilize in the hiring process and beyond, including management of employees. And by the way, all the tools that we talk about will always be linked in the description so you can get to them quickly. And they're also affiliate links. So if you use those, you'll be supporting the channel, and we say thanks to you for that. Now, chapter 2, when we get that, you're going to understand the posts and how to make those posts to really attract the right candidates, as well as integrating email automations. We're going to dive into how you can really systematize this process to make it hands-off for you and for anyone else that you hire. We're also going to share with you how you're going to be able to have efficient interview scheduling, where it's going to further vet candidates in addition to vetting sequences in your email that's automatic. And ultimately, by the end of it, you're going to know how to vet candidates easily and what proper vetting looks like for virtual assistants, so that you can be sure you have a top quality candidate, as well as when and how to offer interviews to candidates, especially when you have multiple really high quality candidates. Which ones are you going to offer interviews to? Because that's your time. And time isn't just money, time is everything. So we want to be protective over your time. And in chapter 3, we're going to end by you being confident in interviewing what we recommend you hire, an executive assistant. And this means even if it's just you. So if you're not ready to hire an executive assistant, but you wanted to hire these other 3 roles, phone sales, SMS sales, and a lead manager role, you're going to be confident in delegating that to your executive assistant, or you're going to be confident taking that on. And I say delegating the first interview because we actually have a 2-stage interview process, and we demand that that's the way to do it, to make sure that, one, again, I said protection over your time, that you do protect your time, and also that you distill the list of how many people are going to actually apply to any post that you put out there, because it's going to be an awesome post. You might get 500 people, as we have before, for phone sales reps, and we usually call them colloquially cold callers. But phone sales reps, regardless of your industry. And you don't want to interview all of them, you know that. And some of them are going to be really good candidates, but there's a process to take them through. So we always delegate the first interview to our executive assistant. And then by the time I'm interacting with them or even know about them, I've already reviewed their resume briefly before the interview. And then I have the interview outline and the notes ready to go from the first interview. So I know exactly what they covered, and I'm ready to interview a top quality candidate to see if they're a good fit within my business. And we want the same for you. So whatever industry that you're in, it doesn't matter if you're in the real estate industry or not, this system will work for you as well. And by chapter 4, you're going to be confident in conducting that second interview that I mentioned that, I'm ready to go for because my executive assistant interviewed the candidates for the first interview for each of these roles, as well as, which is really important, negotiating offer structures. Just because they say that they want a certain amount, let's take a virtual assistant that you're going to spend $10 an hour on, or that you're budgeting $10 an hour. Just because they say they need $10 an hour or they want $10 an hour doesn't mean they need $10 an hour. So we're going to talk about how to put yourself in a better position to incentivize them to work up to it depending on their skill sets, depending on the role itself and what you should pay. We're also going to share with you what some of those standards are for each of these positions and beyond, because there is a very special position that we don't even have listed here that we're going to cover for those of you who are committed to taking this course. Of course, this course is free, and we're going to talk about that really soon. But for 5, the actions that you'll be confident taking, you're going to know how to follow up with candidates efficiently. Whether it is giving them an offer letter and what that offer letter should look like and how it should be structured, as well as a disposition letter, which is a fancy term that I made up for a rejection letter. But at the end of the day, rejection letters, they're not always for people who you didn't really want to hire. That is to say that they would still potentially be a good fit for your business. So that's why we need to really focus too on pipelining rejected candidates. Pipelining rejected candidates is hugely valuable for faster scale. We'll talk a little bit more about that in chapter 5, but just as an overview, you need to know how to approach people who, especially if you're looking to hire more than one person for this role, but just one for now, that you don't have to go through this whole process over again, and how to communicate with them to set the expectation that you'll likely reach out to them very soon in the future and gauge whether or not they're going to be interested in coming in for just a third cursory interview to continue with the hiring process because they were a good fit to work. There was just other candidates that you hired instead of them because it made more sense for whatever reason, whether it was their skill sets were just above and beyond and you just had to get that particular VA into your business, or whether it was because of a financial reason. Maybe they wanted, the candidate you chose not to go with wanted a little bit more than you were willing to budget for that time. So that's what you're going to be confident in taking action on after chapter 5. Now, there are a couple of the resources that I want to point you to, and it is at reime.us. It's a free business growth resource. It's the 5 must-implement real estate investing tools for business scale. I also in it cover a lot of this particular topic in addition to the tools and resources that every business owner needs to really scale their business, whether they're seasoned investors or whether they're brand new. If that's you, I totally recommend you go over there and you check that out, and you can download that for free. There's also some additional actionable content that I want to direct your attention to. Now, stay tuned for those action items that are coming up right now. This right here is actually training and resources that are reserved for those of you who joined our Made Easy community and are attending the weekly masterminds. This is the group coaching, and that is by investing in the platinum tools for the employee hiring system, Made Easy. And also that comes with the virtual assistants edition or the in-house team edition. It's also something that we provide for those of you who got the employee management system Made Easy too. But notwithstanding that, just know that you have access to this. If you did purchase that, and if you want to, you can check it out. There's different levels of it, and you'll see that if you click the link in the description below. But with that, on to the action items. So the action items here, it's simple. Continue with the course and review the system documents you'll be putting into action in the following chapters and lessons. And if you didn't already purchase the actual deliverables, then of course, you're going to want to take notes to create these for yourself. And we have to answer the question where to look for candidates, and we're going to do that, but just note that those deliverables ensure that you have everything ready You would just take some small edits as your action items, and then they cover the 4 key positions here, and this is some of the stuff that it comes with. So just know you can get all that stuff if you click right there. And of course, the in-depth trainings on demand right here. And on the screen, it's just an abridged version, just so you can understand some of the value that you get. So for the answering the question, where to find these candidates, the rockstar candidates that are going to get into your pipeline, you want to go ahead and click right here for chapter 2 of lesson 1, where we'll talk about where to find these candidates. You're not going to want to miss that, because right here, we're going to make it easy.